So yes, welcome. So I'm Jennifer Geach, co-founder of the Athena Herd Foundation. I'm joined here today by two other directors of Athena. So that's Anne Neiman and Michelle Jameson. Graham is head of design and delivery of qualifications. And Graham has been doing quite a lot of work in terms of liaising and supporting the process through with the Professional Standards Authority. So that's really the roles of us. Graham, thank you. So what is the register? I'm very much going to go through the slides. So yes, Athena Herd Foundation has held an online equine assisted and facilitated interactions register since around 2019. Athena has been working with the Professional Standards Authority, so that's the PSA, since the summer of 2021 to accredit the register. In June 2022, the PSA confirmed that we met, so Athena Herd Foundation met the public interest test, and therefore the PSA agreed that we could move forward with accrediting the register. This register is going to be the first formally accredited governance in the UK supporting animal assisted interactions. It's going to be it is a publicly searchable register of practitioners providing therapeutic or wellbeing focused interactions. We will also be working alongside other bodies and registers along the way. So why an accredited register? The reason we have been working hard towards this is to provide regulation around currently unregulated practices, to provide an accreditation that healthcare bodies recognise as a source of safe and protective professional practices. This is also to support practitioners in engaging public healthcare contracts, and it's effectively those that are on the register, provided they're resident in the UK, and we will talk about the different registration memberships that are available, but if you're UK resident, you'd be able to have the PSA Kite Mark logo for your own use as a practitioner. We've also got a verified accredited practitioner logo that non-UK residents would be able to use if they're on the register and meet the exact same requirements. So I think it's important just to talk about the Professional Standards Authority, who they are and what they do. So they're an independent body that is accountable to the UK government, formed as part of the Health and Social Care Act 2012. They aim to protect the public by improving the regulation and registration in health and social care. So what does that mean? It means the reviewing the regulators of health and care professionals, accrediting organisations that hold registers of practitioners in unregulated occupations. At the moment, this would compare to, for example, the registers held by the British Association of Counsellors and Psychotherapists, that's known as the BACP in the UK. And another example would be the Complementary and Natural Healthcare Council. So the role of the PSA is around giving policy advice to government to encourage research and improve regulation. So the objectives of the register is to create and maintain professional ethics and standards that prioritise the health and well-being of public service users and protects them from harm or injury. To promote and maintain client confidence and public credibility in the benefits of equine assisted and facilitated interactions and the delivery thereof. To provide a clear definition of professional standards required to support the delivery of equine assisted and facilitated interactions, to maintain ongoing compliance with these standards by all registered practitioners. just continuing on with the objectives of the register. It's also to act as champion and advocate for the benefits of equine assisted and facilitated interactions with other professional, regulatory and public healthcare bodies. It's to promote the importance and benefits of equine assisted and facilitated interactions across the wider stakeholder network, to provide a point of contact for service users who have issues or concerns over the services that are being provided, to provide a formal structure of investigation into complaints and apply sanctions as appropriate. So the governance aspects. So Athena Herd Foundation is a community interest company. It does have 4 different arms. The register will sit under the awarding arm of the Athena Herd Foundation. And this is going to be directly overseen by the advisory board, which will report into the Athena Herd Foundation Executive Committee. The advisory board will have at least 5 members, representative of services and practices being provided, and this will include an independent chair, myself, Jennifer Geach, and Graham Green, plus appropriate lay representation. So as at this year, myself and Graham Green have formally moved over to the awarding independent arm of the Athena Herd Foundation. We are separate to the training arm of the Athena Herd. So applications are currently underway and being invited to the advisory board, and the details are there. So that's effectively contacting myself, Jenny, at athenaherd.org.uk, but there are more details on the Athena Herd website. That's athenaherd.org. We're really looking to put in a board that is representative of the community, whether that be both national and international. Thanks, Graham. So what does membership mean? So again, this is all set out on the Athena Herd website, but effectively it is around a commitment to a common set of standards and ethics. These are the professional standards, ethical principles of practice, ethical standards for the treatment of horses, and individuals on the register must have in place a core set of policies and procedures, have valid and current insurance, and things like, for example, DBS checks where applicable. Another requirement is to either be or have access to a qualified first aider. And then there are the ongoing obligations, for example, regular supervision. And again, this can be blended between equine and non-equine activities. There is an annual commitment to CPD. So who can join the register? So practitioners with qualifications that align to the standards of education and training. What we're talking about here are the Professional Standard Authority standards, which is very much a minimum of a level 4 qualification, that is in England and Wales, and it would be an equivalent to a level 4 if you are non-England and Wales. At the moment, the register currently recognises the Athena Herd Foundation level 4 diploma, and from a risk-based approach, we have at the moment accepted equivalent regulated qualifications. That is something that the advisory board will very much be considering, particularly around alternative qualifications once the register has been accredited by the Professional Standards Authority. Other therapeutic practices must be supported by appropriate qualifications. So what we mean by that is if you would like to, for example, qualify yourself as a counsellor or psychotherapist, you would need to provide the requisite confirmation through certificates of the qualifications that you hold. As I mentioned earlier, this register is open to all both nationally and internationally, that the only difference would be that the international and other memberships would get a logo, but it would not contain the PSA kite mark. So how to join the register? Again, this information is on the Athena Herd website, that's athenaherd.org, but there's a application form to download and complete. There is a documentation requirement, so the relevant documentation that's set out in the application form would need to be collated and then submitted to the Athena Herd Foundation by email. There is an application fee of £75, that's GBP. Support will be provided through the process, through the application process, and there will be an annual membership fee on approval. This is currently set at £125 for the UK, and non-UK is currently £95. That's 2023-2024 pricing. Athena Herd Foundation is currently considering other memberships, and that includes, for example, student or organisational memberships. They have been considered and planned for, they're just still going through a development process at the moment. Thank you. So that is my slides. Graham, did you want to?
Okay, thank you very much, Jennifer. Thanks for taking us through that. So that's very much a case of Jennifer taking you through the detail of what we're looking to achieve in setting up the register. As Jennifer has made clear as we've gone through that, all of the information that really people need to know, or most of the information that people will need to know and will tie into what she just said, is available on the website. But obviously we wanted to run this a bit of a Q&A session as well for people. So if people do have questions that they would like to ask, we were going to go for the fact, we were going to go for the put them in, could you put them into chat please? But if you have a question you'd like to ask, maybe you'd like to put your hand up or to let us know that you'd like to ask that question, and we'll answer that question for you.
No questions? Stella.
Yes, hello. I'm sorry I was a bit late. I was just wondering how it works for international, and Italy, it's quite different from Australia and anywhere else. So just
in terms of international, the requirements are essentially the same for joining the register. So for example, in terms of academic achievements or qualifications, we would look for qualifications that align to the UK standards that we've defined currently. And then in terms of the documentation and supporting documentation for membership, again, all the sort of policies that we would expect insurances to be in place, again, and those commitments to CPD and those commitments to supervision. Thank you, Jennifer. So it is those two things. Essentially, it is the same requirement internationally. So there aren't two levels of application, if you like. The only difference is that those people who are outside the UK would not be able to use the PSA kite mark. So the logo will just be a simple and Athena Accredited Practitioner logo.
okay. Thank you.
There's a question from
yes.
Brian.
What is the registry benefit to the USA practitioners? Again, I think it is about the standards, and it's that commitment to standards. So essentially, whilst obviously the Professional Standards Authority is a UK-based organisation, the register is being run in accordance with those obligations or with those standards, regardless of where anyone is based. So the key bit is that we have this issue, or that it would be the situation where that you will be able to say that your performance or the work that you do adheres to these standards. So it's about proving to other people or proving to potential clients that appropriate service user and client protective processes are in place and practices are in place. It's hopefully that helped for you.
And we are looking at expanding the scope. So at the moment it is the Professional Standards Authority, but very happy to look at other bodies that would maybe be more appropriate in different jurisdictions. So that is something that, again, that's about having an advisory board that's representative. For example, whether that be then in the US, members on that board that would represent the US, and we could look at a similar process to have a kite mark that would be more appropriate. I saw another.
Yes, I was just picking that up. So
yeah.
So I think this is a question for whoever's or from whoever's posted as iPhone. So I can't refer to you by name, so sorry. You say, if a trainer is based on having a counsellor present, how will other organisations such as EFL practitioners only fit in with these standards which Athena are guiding? I'm going to have a go at answering this from what I interpret from the question. If you need more information, then please ask. It's not about the Athena training. The Athena training is not based itself on having a counsellor present, but the registration process is basically saying that if you're going to be delivering or want to deliver counselling based practices, or you want to deliver psychotherapy based practices supported by equines, essentially what we would be asking of you is that you have an appropriate counselling or psychotherapy based qualification. So essentially is what we're doing here is we're saying that practitioners who want to be an EFL, you can have an equivalent, a qualification in equine interactions of some kind, but then also that will be supported by an appropriate psychotherapy or counselling qualification, if that is the role that you want to promote yourself in.
I might read that slightly differently, Graham, as a question, okay, because I'm seeing it saying if Athena training is based on having a counsellor present, which it isn't, because it's about identifying your practice. But we are looking at other training programs sitting into this. But the question I'm saying is, how will other organisations such as EFL practitioners only fit in with these standards? So yes, so exactly. So a non-Athena practitioner absolutely can join the register. The requirement of the Professional Standards Authority is that the qualification held has to be a minimum of a level 4. At the moment, prior to us formally appointing an advisory board, the Athena at the moment has asked the Professional Standards Authority to recognise regulated qualifications that are not Athena. Therefore, I've taken a risk-based approach on that at the moment. However, going forward, again, putting in place an advisory board, we're very happy as a board to look at other qualifications in the market, and provided they're a level 4, benchmark them against the standards of the Professional Standards Authority. In terms of they being a practitioner in their own right, provided they've got a level 4 qualification, can join the register either as an equine assisted or an equine facilitated practitioner. So again, the register embraces the different disciplines within the field. So for example, you could be an equine facilitated or assisted psychotherapist, and again, there is a defined there's a defined title within the register for that, again provided the individual submits the relevant qualifications. Is that hopefully answering all of the questions? Brilliant. Good. Brilliant.
Does anybody else have any questions they would like to ask?
No. Brilliant.
No. Marvelous. Well, thank you very much for those of you that have joined us. We hope you found it informative. We hope you found it useful. I think if people would like more information, obviously we would steer people towards the website. We have published a lot of information about how to join the register and how the register will operate on the website. That's athenaherd.org. Or reaching out to us via email. Again, so we put the email address in the slides of jenny@athenaherd.org.uk.
Brilliant. Thanks, Graham.
Thank you.
Everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank
Thanks.
you. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.